Hello all, welcome back to the tutorials. So we will talk further on high-speed board designs. So first of all, before going in detail, let us talk about two definitions which are called lumped versus distributed. So basically lumped circuit is nothing but a series of discrete elements which are basically located at a specific position rather than being distributed. So that means, example, if you see here a simple circuit on the left which has resistor, inductor, capacitance and then conductance. So this is an example of a simple lumped circuit, whereas distributed circuit means a section of a circuit which is distributed over a length or a space. So if you take a wire, like example a coaxial cable which is carrying a cable signal, so that is an example of a discrete distributed circuit where the same section is replicated over a period of over a length, and anytime example, if you cut out that particular section, you will see a replica of the other section. That's what you see here. So the example is one section, a second section and a third section. So this is an example of distributed circuit. Now why do we talk about this lumped and distributed? We'll see in the next slides. So the same distributed circuit, if you think of a transmission line, example a line which is carrying a signal or a cable, this transmission line will have some resistance, inductance, capacitance over a length. Now coming to the high speed signals, this particular signals, we are saying that they get affected due to PCB characteristics or whatever. So these signals which get affected are basically affected due to the resistance, inductance that are associated with the transmission line. So what we can say here is basically the traces on the PCB can be treated similar to a transmission line at that particular frequencies which get affected. So to summarize, what we mean to say here is the signals, the high speed signals which we are treating, example greater than 30 megahertz, will get affected by these transmission line effects. So these transmission line effects which are similar to the coaxial cable are similar on the PCB as well, which has a simple PCB trace between IC1 and IC2. So we have to treat that similar to the characteristic coaxial cable and do all our calculations, simulations that are associated. Now that's what we mean to say here. So this is what the PCB trace which is associated acts as a transmission line beyond a certain frequency. So this is how transmission line can be modeled, which has series resistance, inductance, parallel capacitance and conductance. And then this PCB trace, as it goes over a length between IC1 and IC2, the same section shall be replicated. Now this transmission line characteristic which we are talking determines how the signal passes from IC1 to IC2 and how it gets affected. So these characteristics of the transmission line are very important in high speed designs and determines how efficiently the system works, which indirectly depends on communication between various ICs on the board. So these transmission line effects are to be simulated and then determined what design aspects need to be covered in the high-speed design. So that's what the crux of the high-speed designs is. And then when we say, if we just go back, we were saying the characteristics of the transmission line determines the signal properties, right? So what are those characteristics of this transmission line? So the main characteristics of this transmission line are the characteristic impedance. So that means it is basically the combination of all the impedances that are associated with it. So this is called a Z0, which is a standard parameter which is provided as a characteristic of the PCB. So when we do a PCB layout or do any simulation, this characteristic impedance is very important. Along with this characteristic impedance, because these have several passive circuits that are associated, and then the signal has to travel from one point to another, so there will be propagation delay that will be associated. So the time taken for the signal to travel from one point to another, so this propagation delay is one more. And then because again we have a passive elements here, definitely there will be losses associated. So there will be several losses in this particular transmission line model we are talking. So all these characteristics which are associated with the transmission line, whether it be characteristic impedance, whether it be propagation delay, whether it be signal losses that are caused, all these would vary the signal that is traveling between IC1 and IC2. So one point which we have to say here is all these assumptions that we are making. So if you already worked in high-speed designs, everyone knows that there will be more of assumptions made here, more of calculations that need to be done, more of simulations need to be done. But if you are very new to the high-speed designs and wanted to learn high-speed design, there are things which are taken by experience, and some of the things need to be visualized on own, and practically should be simulated and designed on the board. So a very interesting scenario. As a high-speed designers, people do enjoy these challenges, especially when we say the characteristic impedance or propagation delay, signal losses. These are all not constant. They vary depending on different parameters of the PCB, especially when we say the traces, manufacturing defects, many things would come into picture in this. So we will talk in detail about this characteristic impedance and all these delays, the signal effects that could be caused because of these transmission lines in the next videos. Please watch our channel, like our videos, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Please post your comments and let us know if you are looking for any further information.